Everyone watches the puck, but the real chess match takes place in the space between the attacker and the defenseman. That invisible gap decides goals, breakaways, and championships. It's not just speed or size, it's control, angles, and stick work. The smartest defensemen make the fastest forwards look helpless without even touching them. What is gap control? Gap control is the heartbeat of every defenseman's job. In simple terms, it's the space between the defender and the puck carrier. Too much space and the forward gains speed. Too little and the defender risks getting burned wide. Sweet spot, around 2 to 3 stick lengths. That distance gives the defender enough time to react without surrendering ice. It forces the attacker to think, to hesitate, to slow down. Cale Makar, one of the NHL's best skaters, constantly deals with this from guys like Victor Hedman. Hedman rarely bites too early, keeps that steady cushion, reading the play, then closes at the perfect second. Gap control isn't about chasing, it's about dictating. Control the gap and you control time and space. Take away time, and even the most skilled forwards lose their magic. That's why every elite defenseman lives and dies by this invisible bubble. Fundamentals of stick positioning. If gap control is the heart, stick positioning is the sharp edge of the sword. A defenseman's stick isn't just wood or carbon fiber, it's an extension of the body. Where the stick goes, the play goes. The first rule is simple. Keep it in the passing lanes. A forward skating full speed sees the ice like a highway. The defender's stick is the roadblock. By keeping the blade angled toward the danger zone, the defenseman forces the puck carrier to second guess every move. There's also the stick-on-puck technique, where the defender angles the stick directly at the puck, ready to poke or deflect without lunging. Elite defensemen never reach too far, because overreaching means losing balance. Instead, they stay patient, active, and ready. Watch someone like Jacob Slavin. His stick is never still. It cuts passing lanes, steers attackers, and kills plays before they even happen. That's how stick positioning works hand in hand with gap control. The right stick angle can shrink the ice faster than a sprint. The skating power behind perfect gap control. Gap control doesn't matter if the legs can't back it up. A defenseman with slow feet is like a knight with no armor. Dangerous for a moment, but easy to expose. Skating is the engine that makes everything possible. Elite defensemen master backward skating first. Smooth, powerful strides that match a forward speed stride for stride. Add in crossovers, pivots, and lightning quick transitions. And now, you've got the tools to close space without panic. The golden rule: never get flat-footed. The best defenders don't just retreat, they close with speed. Instead of backing into the goalie's lap, they step up to meet the attacker, shrinking space and forcing tough choices. That's how Miro Heiskanen frustrates some of the NHL's fastest wingers. He doesn't give them runway. He angles, skates, and times his steps so the gap stays tight but safe. Without mobility, defenders end up passengers. With mobility, they're the drivers, dictating where the play goes, never just reacting. Body positioning and angling attackers. Now comes the physical chess match. Body positioning is where the defender finally turns control into dominance. The golden rule is simple: always stay between the puck and the net. Inside positioning is sacred ground, and the best defensemen never give it up. Elite defenders don't just chase, they steer. The stick acts like a guide, the body becomes the wall, and the attacker is funneled toward the boards. The middle of the ice, that belongs to the defenseman. Forwards are forced to the outside, and even there, it's usually a trap waiting to be closed. This isn't about lining someone up for a monster hit every shift. Smart defensemen angle with patience, using hips and edges to cut off escape routes. Players like Victor Hedman or Charlie McAvoy are masters of this art. They don't always need to crush opponents to win battles. By taking away options, controlling the middle, and guiding attackers into dead zones, they shut plays down quietly. Crowd might miss it, but coaches know that's championship-level defense. Reading the play and anticipation. Defense isn't only about legs and sticks, it's about brains. The smartest defensemen see the game one step ahead. They read the attacker's body language, shoulders dropping before a shot, eyes cutting toward a teammate for a pass, or weight shifting wide for a cutback. Every small clue matters. Anticipation is the weapon that separates the greats. Step up at the right time, or contain if the play looks too risky. Drew Doughty built his career on this. Never the fastest skater, but always one move ahead mentally. Adam Fox shows the same skill today. He doesn't gamble, he calculates. By the time the puck leaves the forward stick, Fox is already closing the lane. Reading plays turns defense from reaction into prediction. That's when a defenseman feels unstoppable, not just shutting down chances, but erasing them before they even exist. Controlling the ice like a chessboard. Elite D-men habits. Managing space. Like pros. What truly separates elite defensemen are the little habits repeated every shift. Constant scanning, shoulder checks every few seconds, keeps them aware of more than just the puck. The game isn't only in front of them. It's happening behind, beside, and all around. Great defensemen know exactly where everyone is, all the time. Their stick is never dead weight. It's alive, shifting lanes, tapping pucks, and steering plays in subtle ways. They don't just react to the puck carrier, they influence where the play can and cannot not go. The gap is never static either. In the neutral zone, cushion might be a touch bigger to respect speed. The second the play hits the defensive zone, that space shrinks instantly. Communication is another hidden weapon. Elite defensemen constantly talk with their partner, with the goalie, and with forwards hustling back. What looks like chaos to fans becomes organized structure on the ice. Niklas Lidström, often called the perfect defenseman, wasn't the biggest or fastest, but his habits were flawless. He scanned, adjusted, positioned, and quietly erased chances before they started. That's what makes legends. Silent control that wins games without anyone noticing until it's too late. Training and drills to master gap and stick work. These skills don't just appear, they're built in sweat and repetition. Every elite defenseman spends hours on drills that sharpen gap control and stick positioning until they become instinct, not thought. Coaches always start with the basics. Static positioning drills. No skating, no speed, just defender and puck carrier locked in place. The defenseman works on keeping the perfect distance, the right stick angle, and the body aligned between man and net. Once that foundation is solid, it moves into live one-on-one angling drills. The defender learns to steer the attacker wide, not by throwing a hit, but by guiding with stick and shoulders. Then come the tough ones. 2-on-1 containment drills. Two attackers push the play, forcing the defender to stay patient. Commit too soon, and you're toast. The goal is to take away the middle and funnel the puck to the least dangerous option. Neutral zone gap drills sharpen timing, showing defensemen when to step up on entries and when to sag back without giving up control. Small area games pile on the chaos. Tight spaces, lightning passes, and rapid decisions. That's where instincts are sharpened. Coaches drill the golden rule into players. Stick on puck, body on body. At the pro level, this work never stops. Even NHL stars run these drills daily, because one lazy gap, one bad stick angle can flip a playoff game, and one game can flip an entire season. That's why repetition is the defender's best weapon. Mental toughness and confidence. Playing defense is pressure at its purest. Every mistake is exposed. Every slip can end up in the back of your net. That's why mental toughness is just as important as skating or stick work. Position demands nerves of steel. Confidence gives a defenseman the courage to step up, close the gap, instead of backing away in fear. Trust in teammates matters too. Knowing your partner and goalie have your back frees you, challenge harder and smarter. Elite defensemen stay calm even under the heaviest forecheck. They don't panic, don't fling the puck blindly up the boards. Coaches love to say the best defenders make pressure look slow. They think clear, act sharp, and stay composed while others scramble. The game may move at lightning speed, but inside their head, everything slows down. That calm under fire is the quiet superpower of elite defense. Common mistakes defensemen make. Not every defenseman masters the craft. Common mistakes separate amateurs from pros. Overcommitting too early lets forwards blow by on the outside. Poor stick placement opens passing lanes like freeways. Flat-footed skating leaves defenders helpless against deeks. Worst habit? Fishing with the stick instead of skating. Reaching looks easy but costs position. That's the difference between junior hockey and the NHL. Pros know skating and positioning win, not lazy swipes. One mistake, one wrong angle, and the puck's in the net. That's how brutal the margin is. Modern evolution of gap and stick play in NHL. Hockey today isn't the same game it was 20 years ago. The pace is lightning fast, the forwards are more skilled than ever, and highlight reel plays show up nightly. Old school defensemen leaned on brute strength and monster hits. The modern era demands brains, precision, and flawless stick work. Analytics prove it. Numbers show that strong gap control doesn't just slow down attackers, it lowers shot quality, reduces controlled entries, and forces dump-ins. Teams now value defenders who manage space with smarts as much as physicality. That's why today's elite blue liners, Kalo Makar, Miro Heiskanen, Adam Fox, dominate without needing to crush opponents. Their weapons are angles, timing, and sticks in motion. They turn speed into dead ends. The game evolved, and the best defensemen evolved right alongside it. In today's NHL, the true knockout punch isn't a massive hit. It's erasing space so the play dies before it begins. Gap control, stick positioning, and angling. These are the foundations of elite defense. Every great D-man wins with these invisible skills, not just big hits. Next time you watch an NHL game, don't just follow the puck. Watch the defenseman without it. That's where the real magic happens. Like, comment, subscribe.